And hopefully we'll kind of break into at least some beneficial rain. We have a lot of new gardens out there, and we're going to need to put some, we'll need to water the lawn certainly here over the next several days. But here's what's on the way as we continue here on First Alert Weather Extra, and we're going to be talking a lot more about that long-range pattern as we go beyond the 7-day forecast. With the weather being so nice, and by the way, we're not in a drought right now. We're just monitoring some of those long-range changes that we have on the way. But some nice viewing conditions for the night sky. We're going to check in with meteorologist Lauren Linehan. We got a total lunar eclipse coming up, when you can see that, and talking about penguins and the climate. And we go beyond the 7-day as we continue right here on First Alert Weather Extra. The next big thing gives you a heads up days ahead of the next big storm system. The next 24 gives you the most accurate and updated look at tomorrow. And the next 60 gives you a 60-minute advantage against Mother Nature. Knowing what's next, days, hours, or minutes away, this is why we First Alert.
When we declare First Alert Weather Day, it's all hands on deck. We're on your side and in your hand with the First Alert Weather app. While Wes and the rest of the team track changes moment to moment, the app keeps you prepared and safe with video and alerts for your neighborhood. And if the power goes out, no worries, you can stream us anywhere. It's easy and it's always on. Stay ahead of Alabama weather. Just scan and tap and have the First Alert Weather app. This is why we First Alert.
On Good Day Alabama, we treat severe weather with the highest priority. It's more than just meteorologists. Everyone plays a part. Having more reporters in more places takes you beyond the First Alert, showing you the impact that we see on radar. We're live in your neighborhood when you need us, on air, online, and on the app. That's the advantage of having the most reporters on your side. That's the advantage of Good Day Alabama.
Our lives revolve around planning for what's next, like the next ball game.
One hot dog with ketchup? It's the same with weather. That's why we're on your side with the next big thing, the next 60, and the next 24. Knowing what's next, days, hours, or minutes away.
This is why we First Alert. Who puts ketchup on a hot dog?
Getting live breaking news and local updates has never been easier. That's because we're on your side with the WBRC streaming app. Need updates between newscasts? You can catch up quick here. And when we're live on TV, we're live here too. Just search WBRC on your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. WBRC Fox 6 News is on your side.
Well, keep sending us those weather app photos. If you have our First Alert weather app and take a photo, all you have to do is open the app, click send, and we get it right here in the Weather Center and get to share it with everyone out there. And checking out this lovely photo of the moon from Daryl McFarland, captured on the 6th. And Daryl sending that in on a crystal clear night. And we're going to have some great sky watching conditions. Speaking of the moon and what's on the way for this week, meteorologist Lauren Linehan checking in with us. And Lauren, this is going to be a great week. The humidity's not too out of control, and the temperatures very comfortable conditions. Not too bad for May.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, Wes. Not too bad for May at all. So as we look to the week ahead, because the weather's going to be fairly quiet, might as well serve you up that night sky forecast. So what planets could you see this week? Well, Venus and Jupiter are likely going to be the ones that are going to be the easiest to see. They're going to be a little closer to the horizon, but then you should also be able to see Mars and Saturn. They're not going to be quite as good of visibility as Venus and Jupiter, but hey, it's something. 4 planets, can't beat that. So the sun tonight is going to set around 7:36 p.m. So we'll have clear skies tonight, but if you're wanting to see the planets, you don't want to look at them around sunset. Actually, the best time to see them is before sunrise. Sunrise tomorrow morning, a little bit before 6 a.m. So I would say maybe around 5 a.m. if you want to get a good view of the planets kind of lined up in that diagonal. Venus and Jupiter are going to be closer to the horizon. Look towards the east as well, where that sun is going to be rising eventually. And then also Mars and Saturn will be just to the north and east of that into the sky. So look towards that eastern sky before sunrise. Of course, that requires you to get out of bed early, so no judgment if that doesn't happen. But as far as the moon phase this week, we're actually going to be moving towards the full moon phase, which is going to be happening this weekend. But right now, we're at the waxing gibbous moon, and this occurs when the moon is more than 50% illuminated. And this is one of those moon phases where you're walking around in the afternoon, maybe looking at the clouds in the sky, daydreaming a little bit, and you're like, oh, is that that the moon right there? You can see the moon during the day during this phase. And this is going to get us closer to the full moon, which is going to be happening over the weekend. And as we get towards the weekend as well, by Friday, we could potentially be seeing the International Space Station. Now, is it guaranteed that we're going to be seeing the International Space Station? Not necessarily, because we could have maybe some clouds around later in the week, but the space station will be flying over Birmingham Friday night around 8:50 p.m. and it's going to be visible for about 7 minutes. The reason this is going to be such a great view is it's going to be pretty high in the sky, going to get higher up there. So if you want to make plans to look at the space station, of course, check the WBRC First Alert weather app to make sure there aren't going to be any clouds around. Also, just looking outside sometimes helps, but it's going to be well above the horizon. Look towards the southwest. That's where it's going to appear, then get high up in the sky and eventually disappear towards the northeast. But this isn't the only exciting thing that is happening in the night sky this week. Meteorologist Matt Daniel tells us about a total lunar eclipse right around the corner.
All right, in about a week, we're going to have a pretty cool event happen. It's going to be Sunday night. It's the total lunar eclipse. And what's really cool about this, the moon's going to change colors. The moon's going to be almost at full, and it's also going to be a super moon coming up. So that's something to look forward to. This is going to be May 15th, 16th, and it's all going to begin right around 8:30. So what is a total lunar eclipse? Well, you've got the sun right behind me, and the earth and the moon, they all form in a line in space, and so you've got the sun's rays hitting the earth and the shadow of the earth hitting parts of the moon. So that's eventually when you get that total eclipse, you'll start to see the moon change colors, and usually it has that reddish hue to it. So this is going to be Sunday night. So in the next 6 days or so, we'll be able to view that. Hopefully the cloud cover will be all right. So what happens is, well, we're looking at this eclipse going to be seen for a good bit. Everybody in the country is going to be able to see it, North America and going into South America as we start to change. You can see at the bottom of the screen, it starts to change those colors. That's what it's going to look like at full moon. And then eventually, as it moves out, the moon will start to go back to that regular color. But it's going to be really cool to see Sunday night. So here's the times. You can mark it down on your calendar. Obviously still days away, but we could start to see the shadows start to begin right around 8:32 Sunday evening, and that partial eclipse will start to begin right around 9:27 Sunday night. And you're really going to start to see the changes in the colors of the moon, I would say between 10 o'clock and about 11:15. By 11:11, that's when we're going to see our greatest part of that eclipse, and then it starts to transition away, and the total eclipse begins to end at 11:53, and it's all said and done by 12:55. So if you get the opportunity, just a reminder, Sunday night, we're talking about May 15th into the 16th. That's when we're going to be able to see a total lunar eclipse. And of course, if you are able to take pictures of the total lunar eclipse, we would love to see them. Make sure you download the WBRC First Alert weather app, and you can scroll down and you'll see this icon here. Submit your photos. Let us know where you're taking it from. Give us your name, and we would love to air those photos as we go into Monday. So we'll remind you throughout the week, but the total lunar eclipse happening Sunday night.
Yeah, and typically, as Matt noted there, during the eclipse, you see those reds, and often referred to as the blood moon, and you'll probably see that name mentioned throughout the week as we gear up for that total lunar eclipse visible Sunday night and into Monday. And we'll have a lot more on that in the days ahead. But we got more coming up regarding our forecast as we continue right here. We're talking about the next chance of rain and some long-range data. We look beyond the 7-day forecast also right here as we continue on First Alert Weather Extra. Stay with us.
Every morning on Good Day Alabama, we know the news that matters the most to you is the news that hits closest to home.
And we know that to tell the best story means going to where the story is. That's why having more reporters in more places is so essential.
Giving you more local stories that impact your family, your school, and your safety.
On air, online, and on the app.
That's the advantage of having the most reporters on your side. That's the advantage of Good Day Alabama.
I hear from people all the time with questions about health care, their insurance, and the safety of certain treatments.
I'm Morgan Hightower, and I investigate these stories because if I were being taken advantage of, or if my family couldn't get the help they needed, I would want to know how to take action. That's why WBRC Fox 6 News investigates. We're on your side, getting answers, keeping you informed and safe. Contact us when you need a team on your side.
Get pinpoint locations down to your street level on the First Alert Weather app. You can download by searching WBRC in your app store. That's accuracy you can plan on.
I hear from people all the time having problems with their landlord or worried about being ripped off by a bad business. I'm Josh Gann, and I investigate stories like these because if I had questions about protecting my finances or how to save more money, I would want the best advice available. That's why WBRC Fox 6 News investigates. We're on your side, getting answers, keeping you informed and safe. Contact us when you need a team on your side.
Get First Alert weather and breaking news. Follow us on Twitter. Search at WBRC News.
Get First Alert weather and breaking news. Follow us on Facebook. Search at WBRC News.
Hey, welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. Interesting report coming out. We're always looking at meteorology, looking at climatology, and of course climate. One of the big topics is what kind of impacts is the climate, which is always in a state of flux. What is that? How is that impacting certain biomes and vegetation and animals around the globe? There's so much we can tell when it comes to climate and weather. And meteorologist Lauren Linehan has this interesting report regarding penguins in Antarctica.
Yeah, Wes, that's right. You know, with Weather Extra, we're often talking about central Alabama, but tonight we're going all the way down to Antarctica. There is a new report that has come out from the Argentine Antarctic Institute, where researchers are looking at the potential for emperor penguins down in Antarctica to potentially become extinct in 30 to 40 years, and that is because of the impact of climate change on their natural habitat. So what we have been seeing in the research is that with these baby animals that we see, these baby emperor penguins, you can see in the video that we're about to show you that these penguins often rely on marine ice to survive. I mean, if you ever look at videos of penguins down in Antarctica, you can see them on that ice. It's where they reproduce and raise their baby chicks. And as global temperatures rise and the ice breaks apart and melt, the chicks die because they haven't developed waterproof feathers yet, leaving them vulnerable to the frigid temperatures and the water. So it all kind of feeds off of itself, and that's certainly something to be mindful of when you do get these rising global temperatures. And of course, it's not necessarily that temperatures are rising in every place across the globe, but you have to look at the mean, that overall, if you look at the sum of all the temperatures across the globe, the general trend is showing a warming, and that can impact animals, like you were saying, Wes, different biomes, and it certainly looks like areas in the Arctic, Antarctica, those at the poles are going to be more sensitive when you do have those rising global temperatures. If you get melting sea ice, you think about these animals, that's their home. It impacts them. I mean, we talk about humans too in places like Florida or Louisiana where you have very vulnerable coastline. If you get rising sea levels, that could certainly change the trajectory of human homes as well.
It always amazes me when you see the video there from places like Antarctica, and you see a lot of the shows where they're catching the king crab, and they make it look like it may not be cold, but it's really frigid.
That's so true.
Yeah. All right, Lauren. Well, thanks for that report, and very interesting stuff there. You know, for us, we're kind of trending into a drier setup, it looks like, over the next several days, and hopefully we break out of this pattern, but it looks like through this week here, we could see some scattered areas of rain, perhaps a few showers and storms for this weekend. There's the 7-day forecast. Let's talk about it here as we continue on First Alert Weather Extra. The weather story for the next 24 hours, very dry tonight. Notice winds out of the southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. 9 o'clock temperatures, you see a lot of 60s out there, 68 in Tuscaloosa, 62 here in Anniston. We cool off a little bit faster in some of these outlying areas, and it's certainly going to feel a little bit cooler in the morning when you step outside. Some low 50s, perhaps some places like Hoax Bluff and over towards Pell City early in the day, even showing some 50s here around places like Fayette and Jasper early tomorrow morning, but not a lot of cloud cover here here. We're going to enjoy another bright sunny day tomorrow. We've got another nice one dialed up, a 10 out of 10 tomorrow. I know it's going to be a little bit hotter than average, but for this time of the year, we'll take it because it has been incredibly humid and muggy this time of year. We've had some very humid days, and it's more kind of a dry heat, but as we go through the rest of the week, that stickiness, it may pick up a little bit, but it doesn't really get too out of hand. So when we talk about the next rain potential, what we have here, we've got an upper level storm system. This is actually some of that upper level energy from the system that brought us the clouds and the rain to parts of Alabama Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That system, it's moved out here over the Atlantic, and what's happened is the upper portions of the atmosphere, we're seeing a blocking pattern. So it's moved on to the east, and then it's at a halt now. And what happens is with this blocking pattern, it moves in reverse. We call that retrograding. So we've got a retrograding low. It's going to be moving in from the west direction. Models were picking up on this last week, and you see that a lot when you forecast. You look at some of that long-range data, will show a scenario, it'll back off, and then it will jump back on that scenario. And now it looks like the model data and the guidance that we look at may be suggesting that some of that is going to start to move that energy back in our direction again here later on this week. We could see a few more clouds as early as Wednesday and Thursday, but the rain with this, if we get any wet weather out of it, looks to hold off until around Saturday or Sunday for most areas if we see a shower or storm. Now, this is the global forecast system that we're looking at. This is the GFS model, American model, some of the long-range guidance, deterministic data. Not overly impressive with the rain. Some of the other long-range data, a little bit more impressive, suggests especially across West Alabama, perhaps a shower or storm Saturday and Sunday. This weekend, I wouldn't cancel any big plans you have because most of the weekend it still looks dry, but that chance for some scattered showers and storms. Unfortunately, that's our next best chance of rain here. If you're looking for some rain for the lawn and garden, that's the next best chance we can see there in the short term. Looks like Saturday and into Sunday. You can see some hit or miss showers. Big week, a lot going on, including the Region's Tradition. Tea time for Wednesday, looking sunny. Temperatures in the 60s, low 70s. We've certainly, I know many times for the Region's Tradition, we've been tracking some afternoon storms, but not worried about that situation this year. It looks nice out there. Notice winds out of the east-northeast there also by Wednesday and into Thursday. And looking at the Saturday, Sunday forecast, again, that chance for scattered storms coming back this weekend. It's very hit or miss. Want to bring in meteorologist Jill Gilardi. You know, Jill, we all sat here, we were talking about this a few weeks ago. You know, drought is one of those things. We're not in a drought right now, but it's one of those weather hazards. It sneaks up on you, and you can kind of see some of those things happening out there. Just hopefully we kind of break the dry spell just a bit. We don't want to get into a drought situation going into June.
Yeah, certainly not. I mean, we hope not, but there's not much we can do about it other than, you know, tell you guys to continue to do the watering and hope that Mother Nature, you know, she does provide us with some rain, but the forecast beyond these 7 days does not look very promising right now. As I just let this go through 8 to about 15 days out, yeah, that doesn't look great in terms of us seeing much in the way of rain. Everything kind of going up and over us, so that's that like dome, that ridge of high pressure. If we can get it to move in subtle directions, sometimes we can get some of that moisture to build up in those afternoon pop-ups, but right now there's not a strong signal towards widespread rain coming our way. As we head into, of course, June and into tropical season, that's when we typically see a lot of our rainfall, is once it gets a little bit more tropical and maybe if there's, you know, a landfalling system. But right now we're kind of in this pattern where, okay, the precipitation as of right now, going beyond the 7-day, neither average or below, so we're kind of flatline right now, but again, that can quickly change, as Wes was noting, because when you have day after day of hot temperatures, a lot of sunshine, any moisture in the ground starts to go away, and we're expecting above normal temperatures. Now, I don't know if we're going to get to, 97 degrees going beyond the 70. It just indicates that that big dome of high pressure is really going to get us cooking out there. So very hot temperatures. Looks like in the long range as of right now, normal highs 80 degrees. So anything above that would be above normal. And then also in terms of low temperatures, we're going to be seeing, at least right now, according to this model, those temperatures going above normal as we look beyond the 7-day. We'll continue to keep you updated each day with beyond the 7-day. And for now, we're going to go to break, and then we'll be back with much more on First Alert Weather Extra.
Getting live breaking news and local updates has never been easier. That's because we're on your side with the WBRC streaming app. Need updates between newscasts? You can catch up quick here. And when we're live on TV, we're live here too, giving you more ways to get caught up with everything happening where you live. Plus, exclusive videos from your First Alert weather team. It's easy to use and it's free. Just search WBRC on your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. WBRC Fox 6 News is on your side.
You've got enough to worry about every day. That's why the First Alert weather team is on your side, so you can plan with confidence and take the worry out of weather. With exclusive First Alert AccuTrack, we pinpoint storms before they arrive. And with Weather Every 6, you are always informed. Alabama's weather changes fast, but we're working even faster, updating and alerting you first. We know your plans are important. This is why we First Alert.
Every morning on Good Day Alabama, we're on your side, trying to get you where you're going safely. First Alert Traffic updates you on slowdowns and gives you alternate routes. Having more reporters covering the roads you drive on gives you even more info to help you know more about why it happened and when it will be cleared. On air, online, and on the app. That's the advantage of having the most reporters on your side. That's the advantage of Good Day Alabama.
I get calls and emails all the time from people wanting to know how cities, counties, and the state are spending their tax dollars. I'm Jennifer Horton, and I investigate how your tax dollars are being used because I don't want your money or mine wasted or fraudulently spent by politicians in power. That's why WBRC Fox 6 News investigates. We're on your side, following the paper trail, asking the tough questions, and giving you the facts. Contact us when you need a team on your side.
Well, a lot going on. I mentioned we have that big job fair happening in Tuscaloosa tomorrow. We got regions coming up, but with all the games happening this week, let's check in with Mickey Ferguson for an update on the events forecast.
With all this weather extra information, you might be wondering, hey, what do I wear tomorrow? Well, let's check it out. We start out with the temperature readings fairly close to average for this time of the year, about 6 a.m., 59 degrees. So you can wear a coat maybe just for the early morning hours, but then short sleeves and short pants, because look at this. 80 degrees at lunchtime tomorrow, 86 when you pick up the kiddos from school so they can hop outside and enjoy the day with their mobile devices. Hey, we have your Alabama baseball forecast. The Crimson Tide's taking on Jacksonville State in Jacksonville. This is tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Mostly clear skies, 80 degrees at the first pitch and about 70 degrees toward the ninth inning. Then we have UAB baseball. They're headed to Montgomery to take on Alabama State. 84 degrees at 6 p.m. there in Montgomery, a little warmer, and then cooling off to about 75 degrees towards 9 p.m. And we also have Auburn. They're headed to Troy at Riddle Pace Field to take on Troy at 6 p.m. First pitch, and then cooling off to the low 70s by the end of the game. Hey, if you're going to be out and about at any of these places and you want information at your fingertips about the weather, just download the First Alert weather app, and you can also send in pictures and we can show them right here.
All right, Mickey, and looking at the next several days, should be some great weather for taking some weather photos. Tuesday through Thursday, we got sunshine, above average temperatures, and Saturday and Sunday watching this weekend for the chance, low chance, it's there for some scattered showers and thunderstorms, but at least this pattern has settled down. We got some nice weather to enjoy for a little while. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt will have more on the 7-day forecast, that out-the-door forecast coming up tonight at 9, 9:30, and 10. And breaking news that we had earlier today, we'll have that for you tonight with that with the capture of the suspects. It's been going on. We'll have that for you coming up tonight at 9, 9:30, and 10. Be sure to join us on WBRC and Fox 6 News.